everyone, so today's video is going to be about joining two dreadlocks together. The reason that I'm doing it is because today I joined two dreadlocks together and it made me think I should do a video about this, because quite a lot of my dreadlocks are two dreadlocks turned into one. So when I started my dreads, this is my second set of dreads. I had my first set in my 20s. And those ones that I had was like started professionally. These ones I started myself, so I think I already kind of understood about sectioning, how to get them how I wanted them. I knew from my previous experience that I wanted to have kind of thinner ones on the crown of my head, because the first set I had in my 20s were they were quite big, and I always felt like I had a bald patch like right on the crown of my head, which I didn't like. I also had a bit of a thing that a couple of years ago I had quite a sort of stressful period in my life, and I ended up with a bit of a bald patch just in one place, and it's kind of here. So I was kind of quite careful when I was like positioning my dreadlocks around there, not to that I wouldn't look bald and like it would be a good spot. I think like the hair is kind of grown back now, which is what prompted me to turn these two dreadlocks into one, because it was two really thin ones. So I'm going to show you now where it is, so you can see, and if I pull here you can see, so there's two. And just to sort of reference, that's how thick the other ones of my dreadlocks are, kind of on average. There's another one, like there's another one. So kind of each one of those was about half the thickness of what I would have liked. And what happened was, because they're thin, it would pull on my head there, which just felt horrible. And I think because that's the bit where I lost a lot of hair, I think it made me kind of stressed out that it was going to do it again. Like I think I'm sensitive to stuff tugging on there. So yeah, so today I joined the two dreadlocks together, and I'm going to kind of show you how I did it. So I started off with some little hairbands. I just bought these on eBay, and I bought pink ones. You can buy any colour you want. And what I did was I found the two dreads, and basically what you want to do is, if you have a dreadlock that you feel is too thin, you want to pay attention to like the sectioning of your hair. So you can see here I picked two that were very close together, kind of coming off the same point in my scalp. If you pick two that are opposite each other, or there's one in the way, or they're on a diagonal or something, it's gonna hurt. Like they're gonna really hurt, like, because once they grow out, it gives you less scope for how you can tie your hair up, because it's having to go too far, if you know what I mean. Like if a dreadlock starts at two opposite points, you have to pull it all the way over and it'll hurt. So you kind of want two that are nice and close together, nice and neat. So how I always start them is I would take the two and use one of my little hairbands to sort of tie them together at the root. Now I just do it really loosely, and then what I do is just leave it like that for a week, just to make sure that they definitely feel nice together, that that's not weird or tugging my hair in some way. So then you can, you know, for me, I can spend the whole week, you know, because I sleep with it in a ponytail, I might wear it down for work, all of that kind of stuff. So once you're satisfied with where your two dreadlocks are and you're keen to put them together, you want to then take a crochet hook. I don't know if my camera's going to show you this. Will it zoom? No. It's a 0.75mm, so it's quite small. And then what you want to do, I'm going to show you on this piece here. You take your crochet hook. I stick it through one dread, can you see? And then stick it through the other. And then gently get a little bit of some of the loose hair and use the crochet hook to pull it back through the other one. Now I might do that a couple of times on one side and then spin the whole dreadlock over, so then you're going back and doing it a couple of times the other side. And you just want to do that again and again, so you're essentially pulling hair through the other way, this way, this way, this way, this way, and kind of stitching them together with all the sort of fluffy loose hair. You want to be careful that when you're doing this, you're not pushing hard. If you can feel any hair breaking, then that's not a good idea. You want to just kind of push it through, find a bit of kind of the loose fluffy baby hair from the outside and use that to stitch it together all the way. And you can see, because I just did this one in the car, I wasn't even looking, so you can see like now that is 2 dreads that are kind of stitched together, and you can see just at the bottom where they don't quite want to do it. So yeah, kind of what I'll do is keep an eye on this dread. You might find, especially up at the top, for me for some reason, the top bits will sort of want to come apart. Sometimes if you hold them up to the light, you can see the light through them. So what I do is kind of wait for them to go fluffy again, maybe in a month or 2, like once you've got more of the loose hairs, and then kind of stitch them together again. You definitely don't want to do this all the time. Like, you don't want to, you know, sit there every day crocheting your dreads together, because what will happen is they'll kind of get over hard and over tight and weird. Like, even as it is, I don't know if you can tell in a video, but this dreadlock is a lot like, it's a lot stiffer than my other ones. So you have to kind of give it a couple of months just to kind of loosen up again. So I will just completely leave this one alone. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this elastic band in here, just because I don't like to mess about with the roots of my dreads too much. I like to just completely leave them alone and let them do their own thing. So I'm trying to just work on kind of the mature part of the dreadlock down here. Yeah, so I mean, this is a method that works for me. If you've got any questions, I'd be interested to hear them. I like making these videos just because I know I find it interesting seeing other people's dreadlocks and, you know, how they get on with them and everything. And I feel like I kind of learn a lot that way, just because everybody's hair is different, your hair texture is different, like your washing pattern of your hair is different, all of that stuff. So it works for me. I guess I can show you here. This is my favourite dreadlock. This is Old Man Fatty. I'm sure I've talked about him in a previous episode. And he used to be 3 dreadlocks, which now you can see I have turned into just 1. And I did that in December last year. So he's, for nearly a year, he's gone from being 3 thin dreadlocks into 1. So it's taken about a year for him to really kind of stick together, and now he feels very matted together. I don't think that's going to come apart. Quite a lot of my dreads are 2 that I've then weaved together just because I made them, I think, too thin. And I wasn't confident that by the time they've grown out, and then obviously if you imagine hair down to here is however many years old, that they would be able to hang on. I think kind of if they're thicker, you have more chance of having nice long dreadlocks, especially considering that the ends of my hair are bleached and dyed. I don't dye my hair anymore, I just leave it alone, but obviously these bits at the end are pink, because as much as I'd love to, my natural hair colour isn't pink, which is a shame. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was interesting. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.